My name is Jose Vega, and I'm an illustrator and concept artist for games mostly. I realized I wanted to be an illustrator when I was doing 3D work for an architecture and industrial design firm. And during that time, I was really into gaming, and I used to collect art books for the games that I used to play. So I started getting into the habit of looking at the art and getting in love with the process of how to make the game. And that's how I started actually trying to elaborate more on the concept art world and illustration for games. And about 6 years ago, I moved back home, and that's when I started actually to develop my skills on illustration and concept art. I used to play a lot of fighting games like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and a lot of strategy games like first-person shooters, and also I was a really big fan of World of Warcraft and StarCraft. My first time studying, it was when I moved to Florida and I went to the Art Institute for Lauderdale, and I got there a bachelor's in animation. That's when I was exposed to the 3D world pretty much. But then after that, I took a really long break of studying, and then I went to workshops. I went to the Imaginism workshop over in Canada, and I took like different short workshops throughout the internet pretty much. My philosophy in art is it's very simple. It's quality over quantity. So speed comes with time, but quality is something that you have to like stick to the piece that you're working on, trying to get it as best as you can. And that's what most employees will get you for, they'll hire you for your quality of work now, not mostly because of how fast you can do things. That comes second, to me, in my opinion. After that is really mostly dedication. This is something that you have to dedicate most of your time to it to actually become an expert in it, like everything else. Pretty much most of the time that I'm studying art is when I'm doing art, which is a lot of hours during the day. Like I could be working at a piece and I have maybe some questions about how something works. So I do some research and actually study what I'm actually trying to paint or draw. But besides that, I take at least 2 hours during the day to do my own studies of specific topics that I want to just learn. I have worked for a few companies, mostly gaming companies. I believe it all started with Fantasy Flight Games. They have different brands of games like Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and the very first work was for Warhammer, which is like a card game. And then after that, I got into the Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. After that, I worked for Paizo Publishing, which they have like a RPG game called Pathfinder. I also worked for CryptoZoic Entertainment, Riot Games. Let's see what else. I was also done work for different authors, like they're independent, so they have like their own project, and I usually just illustrate their work. And also Wizards of the Coast for Dungeons and Dragons, Hi-Rez Studios for Smite, Heroes of Newerth, and yeah, I think that's about it. When I finish a piece, mostly I have two criteria for that. One is when the deadline is done, so that's usually client work. So if I have a week, I have a week. Even though if I don't like the result or I'm not happy with it, because I know I can do more, but that's a deadline and I gotta meet it. When I do personal work, it goes around all the work I have around. So if I have a whole week free because I'm waiting on client work, then I have that week that I want to do 1 or 2 illustrations. But that's pretty much the criteria that I use. So I've been working professionally as an illustrator and concept artist for about 3 to 4 years, and my favorite type of work that I like doing, especially in the beginnings, was mostly environment work. So I would do a lot of backgrounds and environments for different games and IPs. But I also do love to do, especially on my spare time, doing fine art work. Because I'm a fan of a lot of things like anime, games, and different movies and different things. So I like to do my own visualization of the things that I like. So maybe in an anime that I like, and there's this specific battle of two characters that I have seen in the anime or video, I think to myself, how would I illustrate it? So I'll go ahead and do that, and it's just a lot of fun. I do not know why I like environment so much, because it's like it just comes natural to me. I'm not sure if it's because of my environment that I live in. I live in Puerto Rico, so it's a tropical island, and I do like to travel. So that's probably why environments are so passionate to me. What is it that I like about illustrating? I think it's because mostly the process of creating something out of blank canvas, or if you're working digitally, blank canvas, to create something that has a narrative or a story behind it. That's probably why I like it so much, and also because I can have my own visualization about something in a specific. My message to aspiring illustrators would be, first thing is try to find that passion of why you love drawing or painting so much, and grab that, and keep it really close to you, because that's what's gonna help you when the hard time's gone to actually keep going. So most people that they just like to draw and paint, when they don't see any progress, or when they don't see something is not coming out of their drawing, they just quit and stop and start doing something else. So when you have that passion, that time comes, and you say, you erase and you start again, and because you want to get better, because you like it so much. So it's not so much of a big deal to fail at something, because you just like it, because you love it. So stick to that, and have that as a priority if you really want to be a professional. So far, my proudest moment as an illustrator was when I got hired to do environment work for Riot Games, for a video that we're doing for a champion called Amumu. It was called The Curse of the Sad Mummy. And I got that gig because 3 years ago, I went to Canada for a workshop called Imagination Studios Workshop. And during that time, I was under the mentoring of Bobby Shu and Kay Azadera and Thierry and a bunch of other artists, with 4 other artists. And we used to live in that house for like a whole month. And it was like a 8 to 5 workshop, like Monday to Friday. And we got to hang out with them and everything. So because of that workshop, I met another artist that got hired to work for a company to do something for Riot Games. And the group was looking for an environment artist. And because she knew me due to the Canada workshop, she contacted me. And I said, yeah, absolutely. And I started working for this company doing environment work to The Curse of the Sad Mummy, which is a video about this champion in League of Legends, which is a sad mummy. And I did environment work for like a few months, and the project came out super awesome, and it's a game that I really like, so it was awesome to just be part of something that I like playing. So that was super cool.